Please don't sell AI tools. The best AI agencies sell partnerships, infrastructure, and systematic processes, while everyone else pitches high-ticket systems to cold prospects and gets rejected over and over again. Strategic thinkers start small and expand systematically. That 25K infrastructure deal you're chasing, it's actually a $50,000 client relationship disguised as a $3,000 pilot project. You need to begin with a focused win. And I've personally built and sold over $100,000 of these AI infrastructure products in the last year, but it took getting rejected on at least 100 sales calls to understand this framework and to let it sink in. First, you have to earn trust, then gain deeper access to the client, and then architect the complete transformation start to finish, not as a service vendor, but as their strategic partner. By the time you're proposing full AI infrastructure fees with beautiful dashboards touching every part of their business and multiple different functions, you're not selling anymore. You've delivered your value and they already trust you. You're planning their future. I'm about to reveal why this patient approach and long-term approach and focusing 90% on relationship building and AI strategy rather than technical implementation naturally evolves into a fractional chief AI officer position, which is worth a lot more than most corporate salaries. So let's dive right in. The core of this is that you need to think differently. You can't think small and you can't think about like, oh, what is the one AI, agent system that I want to sell? You have to think big. You have to think about what is the overall trajectory that you're going for. You need to be strategic. You can spot trends and you get really good at strategy. And the better you are at strategy, offer creation, market positioning, and if you know how to run outbound campaigns, you will build up a $20,000 per month revenue within 12 months, but you're not going to get there in month 1, 2, or 3 because this is a long-term plan. And so what I wanted to go over in this video is exactly how to do this and the different ways to, go about it ultimately. And so the core thing to share here is the following. Most businesses focus, and most AI companies, AI agencies, or just individuals looking to get started, if you're just looking to get started, it's really appealing to go to different communities, to different people on YouTube are telling you that you can make 5K a month selling this simple AI chatbot and you learning N8N, and they sell N8N as the magic bullet. But it's not a magic bullet. It's just a way to deliver value. And sure, you definitely want to understand N8N and Make.com and these automation systems that will help you deliver value. But to learn how to sell and to learn how to package that is where the real value is and where the real differentiating factors are. And so in order to be a growth-oriented business, you have to be able to communicate and package something to show its value in a way that is not just, I'm going to make this N8N system for you, just like every other Joe Schmo on YouTube that's trying to sell N8N systems. No, you need the complete infrastructure, the growth partnership, the AI consulting. And this is an entirely different skill set than learning N8N. In talking with hundreds of people in my community, what I've realized is that 99% of these people, they're focused on N8N and they're in AI tutorial hell. This is what we call it, AI tutorial hell, just watching endless AI tutorials and N8N tutorials and not getting anywhere. And so we basically architected this entire program to take people from zero to making money with AI by focusing on business foundations, theory of constraints, sales systems, by launching campaigns, email psychology, AI lead gen systems, so that you can understand how to get in front of people with offers, figure out what your market is, and basically scale your business over time. Because the only thing that really helps you scale is revenue generating activities like cold email, like email psychology and copywriting, like launching campaigns, getting on sales calls, optimizing those campaigns. And only then do you get to the last module with it, which is scaling and productized delivery. And then we also do, weekly calls in here where we answer questions and talk through strategy of each of the different modules. All to say, there's a new way to go about this. There's a new way to do this, and it does not involve showing your business owners all of these N8N workflows and AI agents and databases and API integrations and webhooks. No, the magic is behind the scenes. It's the tech that is underneath it. It's beauty and simplicity with complex tech underneath the hood. And so if you're pitching to a business owner, you want them to see the real-time metrics, the lead pipeline, the revenue analytics, your team's performance, the growth projections. This is where the value is, and you can sell this for up to 10K a month, even larger. And so I want to show you how to build this. The idea is that you should have a basic understanding of this, but if you've seen my videos on using Claude to generate workflows, it's getting easier and easier and easier to create these automation systems to the point where eventually you're just going to be able to say, like, build me this and connect all of the credentials and boom, it's done. But at this point in time, you need to find a way to add value. And so one of the things is having analytics dashboards, right? So if you're going to a client, you're saying, hey, we're running these systems for you. And maybe it's like a trial project and you're charging them $1,000 and you want to blow their socks off. You want to show them how valuable it is to work with you and how much ROI you can generate for them in 30 days. And this is how you do it. You give them these dashboards. You're saying, like, okay, here's this dashboard. Which markets are you targeting? We're doing all these different campaigns for you. Here's the leads we've reached out to. Here's the reply rate. Here's the opportunity generated. Hey, and by the way, we're actually split testing 8 different industries. And here's all the industries and number of emails that we've sent and opportunities generated in each vector. Here's the total campaigns we're running right now. And here's all of the split tests that we're running. We're running CTA split test, subject line split test, and all of these different things so that they can see that, okay, you have product market fit in the financial services sector, in the technology sector, and less so in the education and manufacturing markets. And so the idea is that this, you're connecting it with N8N and Webhooks to pull data. So you essentially connect this to N8N, and what it looks like is you have this, and then you have these N8N systems, and you're connecting them via webhooks. So you're sending and receiving webhooks. So let's say you're building this in Lovable. You can literally just tell Lovable, if I go in here, I can show you what the latest system is that I built just like this. You can, I believe it was an analytics dashboard. No, I don't. I already paid for it. So I believe it was, where are my past ones? Oh, I'm not logged in yet. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. And some people in past videos have mentioned, like, oh, you're just building a basic SaaS and trying to sell it. It's like, no. The goal of this is not to have like a full-on SaaS product that people are going to use. It's for them to be able to interact with your workflows and give them a high-touch client experience. So this is the system that I built in a live call in the community. And it's basically this dashboard, right? So you have the dashboard, you have the revenue trend, revenue active users, etc. And basically what you're connecting this webhook. And so you can see that we have, the webhook is connected inside of here, and you can see the status of it. And then they can basically, the client can request analytics, or you can even send it to them. Let's say like we want the reply rate. We're going to send the request. And I don't think this is in production mode right now because it was a test webhook URL. You could see right there. And so, but the idea is that there's multiple different workflows inside of N8N that you're building out. So you can basically have the analytics being tied to all of these agents and workflows. So check this out. So once we have the webhook connected successfully, basically I'm just going to show you this in a test version of it. The webhook will receive data from the Lovable dashboard. It will run various calls. This is just a really simple one just to show you how this works, and it will respond and update the dashboard. So if I say here, request analytics, I want the emails sent in the last 30 days. All right, and then I'm going to click send request, and then it's going to go over here. It's going to start running this scenario, and then boom, it's going to update this dashboard, right? So you can see that it's different. And let's say I want to get a different date range. I'm going to export the PDF and download the PDF, and then boom, it's like creating PDFs for me based on the API calls of Instantly Analytics from the email campaigns that we're running, right? And they can see the results, they can see the performance rate, and I could basically do this for each of my different clients. I could create them a different instance of this dashboard so that they can see the up-to-date stats, and I could even create a workflow that runs 3 times per day and updates the stats so that they can see day by day stats. And that's the whole idea, is that the webhooks are connecting the dashboards to all of the workflows and the backends, but this is showing them like, hey, so we did this work. here's the revenue projections, here's the total pipeline value, opportunities generated, real-time metrics. Oh, and by the way, I recorded you some Loom videos for your team so that they can get onboarded into this stuff. And that's a lot higher touch and higher ticket of an experience, because you're not trying to onboard them into N8N. You're not trying to, build it and then hand it off to them and be like, okay, here's your, N8N workflow. Like, good luck. No, you're going in and you're giving them something that feels high touch like this. And it's really simple to build. So the whole idea is you have a basic understanding of automation. You have a solid understanding of scale, sales, offer creation, and market positioning. And then you combine all those together and you basically become the fractional AI officer for their company, because you're able to, have a team or just yourself and build out all these different automation systems. But you're able to position yourself as a strategist, as someone who's giving you a high touch experience. You have these email, your client delivery process. You're sending them emails every week with updates. And you do this by understanding how to create offers and package them into cold email campaigns, how to get your foot in the door with low risk offers where you under promise, over deliver, and then you build trust, you prove value, you expand the relationship, and then eventually you're giving them a whole suite of AI tools and a whole suite of different, like this dashboard becomes more comprehensive. You have more different views and ways of understanding and looking at it. And at the end of the day, after you do all of that, you reach a point where you're basically making their business AI native, but you don't accomplish this in 2 months. This is a 12-month process, and it's a 12-month client relationship that develops over time. And every single month, you're adding more and more and more value, and you're saying, hey, based on what we saw here, we actually want to, I think what you should do is focus on this side. So the sales bottleneck is now, we finished that. And so now we should use AI to analyze all the sales call transcripts to make your sales process better, to make better proposal generation systems. We're going to add some automations on top of your CRM. There's an infinite number of different automations that you can build for clients, but don't expect your clients to figure that out for themselves. You are their partner. You're the one that's going into their business. You're asking them a bunch of questions about their business. Hey, where's the current bottleneck? What are you focused on? What is it like to deliver the product? What is the profit margins? You're like a business strategist, and you're diving into their business and figuring all these things out. And then on the other side of that, you're able to say, okay, based on all this information, I believe we should do X, Y, and Z. And one of the things I've been experiencing lately is that people want their team to be trained on these systems. They don't just want you to just set it and forget it. Like, the worst possible client experience is, hey, I built a system for you. Here you go. Good luck. If it breaks, oh well, here's my maintenance fee. Versus, hey, so we're going to systematically develop multiple different AI solutions for you, which will eventually become an entire AI infrastructure. And then on top of that, I'm going to record Loom videos. I'm going to give them to your team so that they understand how to use and how to interact with all these systems and how they can help them do their jobs better. You could even say, like, each month, one of the roles in your company we're going to automate using AI, and we're going to maybe not automate, but we're going to take your current team member and let them 10x their output, right? And then I'm going to hop on calls with them, and I'm going to show them, and I'm going to screen share, and I'm going to demo this stuff for them. And I'm going to and give you the entire 3, 6, 9, 12-month roadmap so that every month we know exactly what we're doing and where the value add is. And so this is what it looks like to develop a business that is paying you dividends, where you have a team working and helping you build. You're working, 40 hours a week, but you're making 20 grand a month because you understand you have, maybe 4 clients at 5 grand a month, and you're able to deliver them crazy value because you think like a strategist. You think like a business person and an entrepreneur. And because in order to do this, you have to solve your own business problem, your own sales, lead gen, marketing, proposal generation, CRM, client onboarding, client delivery. Because you have to solve all of these problems for your own business in order to be effective at this game of basically developing a recession-proof skill set, that actually sets you up for success, because now you understand all of the basics of business, because the only way to make this work is to understand the basics of business. of business. And so once you do understand that, now you're in a better position to basically be able to see patterns in other people's businesses and develop them AI solutions in response to that. And it's not easy, but it's not as hard as you think it is. There's a simple roadmap that you can follow from month 1, month 2, month 3 to month 6 to month 12. And if you follow that roadmap, you will succeed. You will make $10,000, $20,000 per month guaranteed. But even though it's simple and straightforward, it's one of the hardest things you'll ever do, because if you're not good at sales, learning how to close, learning how to manage and project manage a company, learning how to basically take all of the different hats in your business, client success, project management, sales, marketing, appointment setting, operations, you have to wear so many different hats to get this to work. But once you understand what all the roles and objectives are of each of the different, hats that you can wear in your company, then that is when you can go into someone else's company and be like, oh, what are you doing with your sales process again? Oh, you're doing this, this, and this. That's probably why it's not working. So this is the constraint here. Here's, I think, 2 or 3 of the highest value AI systems that we could create to alleviate that constraint and to help you generate and unlock more revenue. And I believe we should start with this one. What do you think? Okay, good. You like that idea? Perfect. My team and I are going to go and implement it. We need these 3 credentials from you in order to get access to these systems to start building it out. So we're going to build it out. I'll talk to you in 1-2 weeks when we have an MVP. And then we'll have another call to review it. And then I will have a call with your team to train them on this system, to show them how to level up their services and their product and or their the output that they're generating for your business. So this is really it, guys. This is really it. It's not as hard as you think it is. And one of the key things that I want to mention here is this type of thing can generate you $10,000 per month per client, but only if you target the right markets. So this is what we talk about a lot in the community, is how do you find the right market? How do you figure out what their pain points are, what the dream outcomes, and develop an offer for them? What we found is that you want to target growth stage companies with at least 25 headcount, most likely 50 headcount. You want them to have at least $1 million annual recurring revenue. And because for them to say, start at a 3K project and then ramp up to 5 to 10K a month, like recurring, they have the money. And if you can show them the value, get them results faster, price based on value, show them how your systems will help them grow and become their partner, then 10K a month is going to be a steal. Whereas for these lower companies with less than 25 headcount, less than 100K MRR, 5K feels massive. I've been stuck trying to sell these small local businesses, digital marketing agencies, and they can see the value, they understand it, they want to work with me. But if it's a $5,000 price tag, they're just not going to do it. There's too much risk there. And so that's when you shoot yourself in the foot, because you're basically saying like, yeah, I know you're not making money, but the price is the price. It's $5,000. It's like, and then they don't have the budgets. And then you're like, hey, and by the way, it's a maintenance fee of $5,000 per month. They're like, whoa, all right, why would I ever do that? Whereas if you position as, hey, it's not, you have the money, you have the budget, I want to reduce risk for you, I'm going to guarantee you these results or make you pay even less upfront. Once we deliver the results, I know you have the budget, you agreed to it, so we're going to, do a monthly package from then on out. Does that sound good? Great, let's make it happen. And so you're focusing on the results on, it's not just like, I'm going to build you this simple end-to-end sales system. It's, hey, I'm going to create a lead scoring system that's going to not only score which leads we reach out to, but then it's going to enrich a bunch of data points on them, personalize those messages. We're going to have an automated sales nurturing campaign that's going to make sure that it's sending follow-up messages and emails with people based on different stages and responses. And then we're going to, have this system, this infrastructure that we're going to build for you. We're going to have a series of different systems that will all work together and coordinate with each other to get more results and outcomes than just one system alone. Because for every business, that infrastructure, the series of different systems that you're going to have to build is going to be different. So you can't just say like, I am an AI infrastructure developer, I'm going to develop you all these systems. Because you don't know what systems to develop until you go into their business and understand it like the back of your hand. You can say, oh, okay, based on these 2 hours of conversation that we have, I don't fully understand it yet, but I see all of these pieces that you're working with, and my gut tells me that the constraint is probably here. And if we solve this, we're going to unlock $100,000 of revenue for you in the next year. So, or we're going to unlock, $30,000 a monthly recurring revenue for you. Therefore, I would love to get paid $5,000 per month to do it. That's only like, 1/6 of what I will make you. What do you think? Oh, that's too high of a price point. Okay, well, that's why you're going to start at this pilot project. This is the highest ROI system that we can implement for you right now. We're going to implement it. And if you see the results, if you see that increase of value, then we're going to become your strategic partner. And I'm going to tell you exactly what systems we need to build at different points. And, if you have someone on your team that wants to build out those systems, we can give them the templates. If you want us to build it, we can do it as well. And it's not just like, here's a system, go ahead and use it. Here's an N8N account, like go use it. It's like, no, it's a client experience. If a client works with you in this way, they're just going to be floored. They're going to be like, wait, really? You're doing all of this for me for $1,000? Amazing. Yes, absolutely. I value your opinion. I value your strategy. Let's keep going. What other systems do you think we can develop? Right? That is the essence of the system. Because you're focusing on a professional dashboard, you're positioning yourself as a consultant, not an implementer, then and you're staying ahead and you're understanding the trends in the AI space, this allows you to deliver results. This allows you to become all of those positions, have high retainers, and have high quality infrastructure products, because all of these things on the front end lead to these things on the back end. So another way to put it is like this. I think it's right here. So on the front end, it's like the dashboard, the metrics, or no, I think it's down here. Yeah, that's it. The dashboards, the metrics, the insights, the reports of like what you're doing for them. And then how you build that is through a custom UI, data visualization. Maybe you give them a very simple user authentication, which is not that hard to do inside of something like Lovable or Replit. And then behind those, it's like you actually are running the AI systems, the agents, the workflows on the back end, but the customer doesn't care about that. They want to see the stats. They want to say like, oh, you've got me this much, results. Maybe, you can, if they want to interact with your system, create a front-end lovable system that's a human in the loop. It lets them see different things as it's being generated. They can say yes or no, and all of that data is being sent back and forth between N8N or Make.com and Lovable via Webhooks. So it's really the Wild West out there in the AI space, and this is the strategy that we've seen with our clients to be the most valuable thing that you can do. And so this is kind of the client journey to just really map it out. You start with the initial contact. That's the discovery phase. You do an audit call. You analyze their business. You propose various different solutions. Then you send them the proposal. The proposal is the trial project, which is a low ticket thing, $1,000 to $3,000, where you're going to provide insane value. Once they sign that, you have templated and productized system architecture, back-end development, N8N systems, or even Python if you're into vibe coding. And then you give them the dashboard, you set up all of the different aspects of the system, and then you deploy it. And then you give it to the client, you train them on how to use it, you show them the types of results that you're getting by running these systems. And then once you're done, you analyze the performance, optimize it, and then this is where the upsell happens on, week like 6. You're showing they're getting these insane results because you've already gone through this process with them. And then it's like, okay, now $4,000 a month doesn't seem like that much for them because you've added all of this value up until this point. And so that is the essence of the system, guys. There's a lot of components of here that you have to get right, but it's 100% possible. And what they say is like, every business is going to be hard. You might as well try to have a business that is going to have huge potential to scale, and this is one of those businesses. Trying to sell N8N workflows on Upwork or LinkedIn, or by using content, are all extremely hard and ineffective things to do. Content is not ineffective, but it takes a long time to build up an audience. And start with cold email, create really high quality offers and strategies, and follow this value ladder right here. Follow this value ladder, and as people go deeper and deeper into this funnel, into this value ladder, they're going to be getting more and more and more value until at the end of it, a $5,000 per month package, they're going to be like throwing money at you because of the amount of value that you've shown and proved. Whereas if you try to pitch them on a $5,000 per month project at this stage, they're going to say, fuck no, that's way too much money. I don't know who you are. I don't trust you. I'm just going to lose money. There's too much risk for me. And so I hope you found that valuable. This is the essence of growing and scaling in the AI world these days. Most people are stuck in end-to-end tutorial hell, so don't be like them. Become someone that's able to see what's coming down the horizon, right? This is where AI is going. You need higher touch services and experiences. And if you're still caught trying to build simple end-to-end systems to sell, you're just, that maybe worked 6, 12, 18 months ago, but it doesn't work today. And so you need to think, where is the AI wave going, not where is it at right now. Right now it's like, yeah, you can still make money selling end-to-end systems, but give it 6 months and you probably won't be able to. Whereas if you say like, okay, I actually see where the wave is going here, I can see that this higher touch strategic positioning with companies is like what people are going to need, because as AI gets better, there will be out of the box agents, there will be out of the box workflow builders where any random person and their mom could literally just go and say, build me an agent that does this, and it will do it and it will implement it, right? But to actually understand the strategy and the why and understanding what their constraints are and figuring out what to build in the first place, that's going to be what people struggle with and where they struggle to unlock revenue. And that's where you should position yourself. So thank you so much for watching this. If you want an entire roadmap of how to build this out and make 20 grand a month and from a 6 to 12 month time period, check out the community. We have modules that go, not only do we have 400 AI agent templates, the reason we put so many in here is because I don't want you to have to think about building end-to-end. I want you to be able to go in this template library and say like, what systems do I need? Let me go sales, marketing, ops, which one of these is most relevant, and then just download it and implement it. And you focus on the AI business foundations, the email infrastructure. You're focused on psychology, copywriting, offer creation, lead gen systems, launching campaigns, sales conversions, because these are the things that are so much more difficult than the actual implementation itself. And so I hope you found this valuable. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.